Hey guys, this is Spyros from Phobos Corporation. I hope you're all doing well. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for all your comments, your messages, your feedback, positive, all your questions. I mean, the past few weeks it's been like overwhelming for me to receive all these things, and I'd like to thank you very much, and thank you very much for supporting it, supporting this project, and for your nice words. I figured, because there are so many questions, I'd like to somehow answer them in a more personal way, if you'd like. So I thought of starting up these Q&A sessions, if you'd like, for the future as well, and have these video episodes every time, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, we'll see, depending on the appeal, so I can actually answer some of your questions. And of course, most of the questions that I have received up until now concern, of course, about the project. What is this project? What is Phobos Corporation? About the music, about the new EP, of course, the Felicity EP, about the guest musicians, about the production, the recording process, the orchestrations. And I have also received quite a few questions concerning the future and what's next for Phobos Corporation. But today I'd like to talk mainly about the history and the whole background story behind Phobos Corporation and behind this project, basically, and how it all began. So let's get down to business. I'm guessing the best way for me to kind of answer this question and to start talking about the history of the project is I need to take you back in time 20 years ago, to be exact. It was the summer of 1992. I was 12 years old at the time, and I was on vacation with my parents in Rhodos Island in Greece. And I remember that specific day of that summer. I think it was either July or August, it doesn't really matter. I was walking with my mother, and at some point I see this record store, and I go inside to check on the music that they had. It was at the time that record stores actually sold cassette tapes and vinyls. I really hope that some of you actually still remember these things. Anyway, I was at the CD department of the store. I was browsing through the shelves, and all of a sudden I see this really nice CD with this great artwork, this amazing, like, drawing, basically. And I took a closer look. The CD was by Manowar. It was their 1992 release of Triumph of Steel. At the time, of course, I had no idea what kind of music it was, or if it was like a band, or if it was like a solo artist. I really didn't know anything. So, since I really liked and enjoyed this covered artwork, I said, okay, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna check it out. Bear in mind that by then I had already started taking piano lessons since I was 7 years old, so I was into the whole classical music, if you'd like. But also at the time, I'm not ashamed to say that I was also listening to Madonna, Michael Jackson, Roxette, even Ace of Base, you know, the pop icons basically of that era, if you'd like. So I go back home, I put the disc on the player, and I start listening to this music, you know, this new music. I listened to the whole album once that day, and at the end of the day I was like, okay, this is like really weird music. My ears are not used to this kind of music and these harsh guitars, you know. I immediately, of course, picked out the vocals. Eric Adams, of course, for me he's like one of the best vocalists of all time. But I said, okay, I'm not gonna judge it too much. I will take a break, and I will get back to it again next day. So next day comes, I start listening to it again a second time, and then the third, and then a fourth time, and then all of a sudden it started having a great appeal to me. I mean, the guitars used to sound harsh in the beginning, but after the third or the fourth time it was like music to my ears basically, you know. And the whole production, the music, the lyrics, it was really like pompous and very bombastic music, if you'd like, for me. And that was basically the day when I first discovered heavy metal music. And later on I discovered other classic bands, of course Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Metallica. And then I also started discovering other hard rock legends like Led Zeppelin, Dire Straits, Yes, Asia, Pink Floyd, etc., etc. So between 1992 and 1995 I was basically just discovering newer and newer bands. I remember that my very first heavy metal gig was Stratovarius playing live in Athens. It was during their Fourth Dimension tour. I think it was their second time in Greece, if I remember correctly. Obviously I wouldn't know because I was too young. I mean, for me, Stratovarius and especially the Fourth Dimension album was like amazing. It's like for me, it's like a classic. You know, the guitar work, the sound, the vocals, the structure of the songs, the arrangements. It's great. It's such great music. And also, I then discovered Paradise Lost, Sabotage, and some other bands as well. I started attending more and more concerts. I started reading magazines, especially at that time we only had like Metal Hammer, the Greek Metal Hammer. I started reading reviews, interviews, you know, I was getting really into the whole spirit of heavy metal, if you'd like. I started dressing up, of course, all in black. I even had like earrings. I tried to have longer hair. And I was really into this whole rebellious phase of, you know, listening to heavy metal music. And over the years, I just discovered more and more bands. Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, Balsago, Theatre of Tragedy, afterwards Epica, Edguy, Within Temptation, Nightwish, you name it. I mean, I was really interested in different types and different genres of metal, heavy metal. But also, I was also interested in other music styles and other musical genres. For example, classical music, jazz, a lot of jazz. I really love jazz, blues, even a bit of electro, chill out, ambient, more synth music, more dance house, trance music. You know, I tried to be as open-minded as possible when it came to music. Around high school time, there was 1997, 96, 97, a bit of 1998. Myself and three very good friends of mine, Stefanos, Stathis and Kostis, we decided, okay, we're into this music, we really like this music, let's make a band, basically, you know. So we decided to form a band. And we actually formed two different bands. The one was called Cruentus. It was more of sympho metal but instrumental, and the other one was called Embedded. It was more mellow death kind of metal with, you know, brutal vocals and growls and all this stuff. But this band has got nothing to do with, I think there's a German band called Embedded, and they're of course much more famous than we were. And so we started playing a couple of gigs every now and then, and you know, we recorded two demos, one for Cruentus, one for Embedded. Stefanos was playing bass mainly and a bit of guitar. Kostis was doing the vocals and he was also playing guitars. Stathis was playing the drums, and myself was either playing keyboards or a bit of guitar. And it was, you know, it was a really nice phase. It was a stage of my life that basically I recorded some of the very first compositions of mine for Cruentus, playing the keyboards and, you know, composing all these things. And it kinda helped me and opened up my horizons, if you'd like, my musical horizons into other music styles as well. In 1998, around the end of 1998, I had to leave Greece. I had to go study in England, That's the country I spent 5 years studying and a bit of working as well. But during the time of my studies, I had already bought a new computer, some music software, equipment like a MIDI keyboard, sound card, and all these things. And I was actually continue composing more and more songs, or a bit of orchestral tracks, or even I wrote down a few lyrics, anything to keep myself busy, basically. I had composed quite a few songs, I can say, and around 2005, after I came back from England, after finishing my studies in England, and after finishing also the military service, which I was obliged to do in Greece, and while I was trying to find my first true job at the time, I decided to record a first demo with 3 songs of mine. And I had a friend, a really good friend, who at the time had his own recording studio, and he also helped me out with the vocals. He had a friend, she was a mezzo-soprano singer, and she was really interested into my music, and we said, okay, let's collaborate and see where it goes from there. Excuse me. And so we all together recorded the As the Angel Stared demo, which you can also download on through the discography page on our official website. And this demo was targeted only to labels and a few managers or A&R people mainly. It got a bit of publicity, if you'd like, but nothing like really special, nothing really major. But mainly I got some positive feedback from the labels, but there was still something missing, and I kinda knew it from the very beginning, but you know, I was like really so excited and really into this whole recording my very first demo and, you know, send it out and see what happens, that okay, I tried to not think about it too much actually, but I knew it, that there was something missing, and you know, something wasn't right in the sound basically. So from 2005 up until now, basically, I have continued composing more and more songs, more and more melodies, orchestral arrangements. I tried to compose other styles of music as well, more chill out, ambient, electro tracks. And I figured last year, I think it was last January to be precise, I told myself, look, you're either gonna stay inside a room and just composing and nobody will ever find out, or you'll just, you know, it's now or never, just go out there and do it and see whatever happens, see if there's any appeal for the music and the songs that I had already written. And that's when I took the decision to actually compile an EP, a 4-track EP. That's with One Eternal, Conceived Fate, This Divine Tragedy, and Angels in Despair. These are the 4 tracks that comprise the Felicity EP that will be released on June 1st. And to see how it goes, basically. And that's pretty much the story so far, and the whole background history of the whole project. Some people asked me, why a solo project, why, let's say, a one-man band, if you'd like, a one-man project. And to be quite honest, the answer to this is that I like my freedom in terms of music, in terms of writing, in terms of sound, in terms of production. You know, I have a specific vision for this project. Of course, I would love if in the near future I am able to actually have like a complete lineup and a band that will stick with me in the future, record with them, tour with them, because I really don't want this project to be just a studio project, you know, just writing music and that's it. I want to take this project on the road and tour and play gigs and meet you guys out there, you know, and talk and everything. I want it to be like a proper band and not so much as a project, but we'll see how it goes. At the moment, I'm just preparing, basically, for the Felicity EP release in June, and we'll see how it goes from then onwards. And up until now, as I said in the beginning, thank you very much for all your positive feedback and your messages. I mean, as I said, it's been overwhelming. I really appreciate it, and please continue sending all your questions and anything you want me to answer, and I promise that I will answer them as soon as possible and in the very near future. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this small introduction to the project and to Phobos Corporation, and until next time, I'll see you then. See ya.